Hey, everybody, starting today, you can now easily bring Ecamm Live guests from Zoom super easily into your production. So let's get started. So, Ecamm now has Zoom completely 100% integrated. So, what that means is you now have this window here where you can start a new meeting, join a meeting by an ID or a link, or events, scheduled events and meetings. You can join there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start my meeting. And because it's integrated in just a few seconds, once it starts, you just see the same thing that you normally do during a Ecamm or during a Zoom meeting. It's a Zoom meeting window. It has your output from Ecamm Live on it. Right now you're seeing everything because I'm doing live demo mode, so it's doing this kind of weird inception type of thing. But the cool thing about that is you now have it's completely integrated, really easy to do. So I have Chester joining me here, and I'm going to emit Chester, and then I'm actually going to hide the Zoom meeting window because it's just like a normal Zoom meeting at this point. So I click hide Zoom meeting. I have all of my Zoom meeting controls gone, but I can see that Chester has joined. I can see that Chester has joined, and if he talks, I'll see a green box around him, but Chester is just my second computer, so no one is going to talk there. So essentially what I can do is if I click add, I will now see the video right from Chester. And I can assign it to a placeholder. So I've already assigned it to placeholder 1. You can see he's assigned to placeholder 1. So he's now down here he's assigned as guest 1. So he shows up in my placeholder B because I've made that my my guest placeholder. So I can do a couple different things. I can even just take and drag the video right there, and you now see that I have video from my Zoom participant right there in Ecamm, easily and ready to go. And the cool thing about this is if you have more than one guest in your Zoom meeting, you can have all of your guests will show up here. And so they will all, up to 100 or however many your Zoom limits are, will have there. Will show up in here for all of your guests. Now you can only have 8 video sources at once, but you can see all of your guests in here, and then you can do things like, let's say you wanted to have more than the 8 people, you can remove from the cameras, and then you can start another one. So let's say I had a second person in here I wanted to start, or a ninth person, I could easily do that, and then just drag them in there. So what's kind of cool is like you said, you can easily see here. I have it already in a placeholder. I could just click and drag the video in, like if I wanted to, just have her guests in like a 2-up situation, and it works really well for that. Now, one of the other cool things about this integration with Zoom is, even if you don't bring video in, all of your Zoom chat is going to show up in your Ecamm chat. So let me go ahead and chat on my other machine. So now anytime someone's chatting in Zoom, you'll see it show up in the comments and reactions in the window here. And you can bring it onto your broadcast. So you can see right here that there is a chat from Chester, and this is a chat from Chester, and I can talk about it. And this is, again, is anybody, no matter if you're showing them on video or not, you can bring them into your Zoom. And you can see that if you react, it does animation reacts in the video. Oh, you can't see that because I'm not showing that now. But let's say I'm bringing Chester on and they react in Zoom. Their video are going to show those reactions just because that's part of the baked in video. So that allows you to see have the reactions show up there. If they do the non-animated reactions, you see them up here like you would in your normal Zoom. So if I react with a thumbs up, or clap. A crying emoji, all of those things show up, and it's really cool because you can go ahead and then just have them in there. So this is going to be epic for bringing in, because everybody, Zoom or Ecamm has already for the longest time had an integration where you could have a guest come in really super easily. And if you're not familiar with that, it is just let me bring that window over. So it is this interview mode where you can bring people in and have them come onto your show really easily. They join a link that you give them via a web browser, and it's easy to do. But a lot of people, it's something that they're not used to because they've never joined. Maybe they've never joined from a web, from Ecamm, and so they're not really super familiar with it. But everyone has done a Zoom meeting. Everyone has done a Zoom meeting. And the cool thing about this integration is it's just really super easy, because all it is a Zoom meeting, and then they see your production, and you have you you can see everybody in there because they're used to doing that. Everyone is used to doing a Zoom meeting because they've done it forever during the pandemic, and so this is super easy to do. It's a great integration. If you've not checked it out, you can go to nowstreaming.live/ecamm. And starting to later today, Ecamm will have this integration in it. So again, that's nowstreaming.live/ecamm will get you a trial of Ecamm. And it is, for one of the most amazing streaming softwares that I've ever seen. Ecamm just does an amazing job. So again, you can go over to nowstreaming.live/ecamm and you can get a trial of Ecamm where you can see this Zoom integration, and then it's super easy to bring your guests in. So why don't you do it? It's just a lot of fun. Check it out. Nowstreaming.live/ecamm, ECAMM.